So you clicked on this video because you want to get rich. Maybe you want to travel the world to provide for the people that you love. Or you simply want to be able to quit your job and pick your own schedule. On social media, you see those influencers living the best possible type of life there is, and you wonder how you can obtain the same type of life for yourself. Do you need to be a genius to make millions of dollars? Or maybe you're not necessarily looking to make millions of dollars, but you know that if you got to $10,000 per month, it would completely change your life. A few years ago, I was at a really low point in my life. I've always been a very ambitious guy, so it was killing me inside to know I wasn't tapping into my full potential. So when I got sick and tired of being broke, depressed, miserable, I made a promise to myself. I was going to work as hard as it took to build a profitable online business and live the sort of life I had always wanted, and I would refuse to give up until I achieved it. Look, I get it. Having no money sucks. I know what it's like to sleep in a basement infected with rats, and I've also slept in one of the best hotels in Europe. I've been in a car worth $10,000, and I've also been in a car worth $150,000. And let me tell you one thing. The people who say that money doesn't make happiness are just coping. Sure, I'll be honest. It's not like all of your problems are going to instantly disappear just because you make more money. But 90% of them sure as hell will. And that is exactly why my goal with this video is to share with you the fundamental things that you need to start doing right now if you truly want to become rich. Because you deserve to make all of your dreams come true and to be able to take care of the people that you love. The first thing that you need to start doing literally today if you want to become rich is to start saving up some money to invest in knowledge. Educating yourself is extremely important. And by that, I don't mean going to college. Because what you're gonna get in college, it's overpriced degrees, literally overpriced information. Now, what I tell people is that unless you want to become a lawyer, a doctor, you'll need to get a degree. There's no other way around it, so you'll need to go to university. But if your goal is simply to be free, to run your own online business, to make 10k per month, 15k per month, to have the freedom to do anything you want, you don't need to go to university. It's not gonna teach you how to make millions of dollars. Because trust me, if the university professors knew how to make that much money, they wouldn't spend their days at university. Now, a lot of people are gonna tell you that if you want to make more money, you need to invest in the stock market or in real estate. But the truth is that the average individual doesn't have $100,000 to $1 million to invest. And both of those ways of investing your money are not the fastest way to get rich. Investing in the stock market, investing in real estate, these are tools that the wealthy use to get even wealthier. Because when you get to a certain level, when you make so much money that you don't get to spend everything, you still need to protect yourself against inflation. And that is exactly why the wealthy use assets like real estate, the stock market, and other such things to not only protect themselves from inflation, but also to benefit from it. Because ask yourself this question, who does inflation benefit? Is it the poor, the middle class? Of course not, they're getting completely screwed. It is the rich, because if they maintain their assets, they'll make more money. Their net worth is going to rise, and all of that without any extra hard work. Now, statistics show that 80% of lottery winners go broke within just a few years, and the reason why this happens is because they were not ready to handle that much money. A lot of people think that if all of a sudden they made more money, they were paid more, they would know how to handle that money, and it would solve most of their problems. Let me tell you one thing, that is not the case at all. And proof of it is this. If you gave most 16-year-olds $1 million, how would they spend it? A lot of them would waste it on stupid stuff. They would get a supercar, a mansion, or they would blow it on expensive parties, clothes, all of that to impress other people. And if you truly want to become rich, you especially need to avoid old fads like crypto, NFT, and things like that. Education is your ticket to freedom and to wealth. Because you need to realize one thing, you don't know the things that you don't know. The reason why the rich is rich and why they keep getting richer, why the middle class and the poor keep getting poorer, it's because the rich know things that the poor don't. They play the game of life by different rules. The reason why most people stay broke all of their lives, it's because they're not willing to open their eyes and to play the game of life according to different rules. If you never figure out how to make more money, if you never learn from actually successful people, how are you going to do it? Because most people think that to make more money, they either need to get better degrees or work longer hours. But the truth is that it only gets you so far. Because even the CEOs, the CFOs, the busy executives, they make 6 figures a year, but it rarely ever goes beyond 300k per year, and they work slave-like hours, 12-hour days. They also work on the weekends constantly, and to get to the point where they're making that much money, where they have that job, they would need to climb the corporate ladder all of their lives, graduate from good schools, which again costs a lot of money, and also kind of get lucky. Because how many people fight for the top positions, yet how many people actually get those positions? Which is why the next thing that you absolutely need to do if you truly want to become rich, it is to dissociate your time from the amount of money that you earn. Warren Buffett said it exceedingly well. If you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will always be poor. Because you can't spend 24 hours a day working 7 days a week. It's impossible. You need to sleep, you need to eat, you need to have hobbies, you need to have a life. And billionaires, they don't work 1 billion hours in a day. The reason why they make so much more money, it is because they have more leverage than the average person does. Because I'll tell you this, a lot of people think it's all about hard work, but plenty of people, millions, billions of of people all over the world work insanely hard every single day. Think about the taxi drivers. They spend all day driving sometimes. That's hard work. Think about the doctors. Think about the people working in grocery stores. That is hard work, no matter what you do. Yet, only a fraction of the population actually manages to become wealthy. So the truth is that the amount of time that we have in a day, in a week, in a month, even in a life, it is extremely limited. And that is also why it's more precious than money itself. Because you could become, technically speaking, a billionaire, have so much money you wouldn't even know what to do with it, but you're not going to live up to 1 billion years old. Like, I can't even tell you how many millionaires, billionaires that are extremely old that would exchange half of their wealth to be 20 years younger again. So if you truly want to reach new heights, to get to new levels of wealth, the truth is that you can't do it all by yourself. You'll need to find the right people to surround yourself with, and you'll also need to put the right systems, the right operations in place to remove yourself as much as possible from the whole process. But when hiring, you need to be extremely careful, because if you surround yourself with the wrong employees, with the right team members, it will wreak havoc within your company, and that can even be the reason you declare bankruptcy, like a lot of companies think, because they have the wrong people on board. So as the saying goes, hire slow, fire fast. Now you see, the reason why people write books or record videos, it is to dissociate their time from their earning capacity. If you were to write a book, to give you an example, it could be translated in dozens, even hundreds of languages and sold to millions, even billions of people all over the world. Yet it wouldn't take you 1,000,000 times or 1,000,000,000 times the effort or the time, but it would still allow you to reach a much wider audience. You couldn't speak to 1,000,000,000 people individually. However, you could make a video and 1,000,000,000 people could watch it. In business, you want to figure out exactly what you're great at and do just that, and the rest, what you're bad at, what you don't like doing, you want to delegate it to other people who are more talented, more skilled than you at doing that thing. And that is how you grow a multi-million-dollar empire. You get the right people on board and people play to their strengths. Because if you do what you're naturally good at, you'll get much better results. It's kind of like this Einstein quote, something along the lines of, if you evaluate a fish on its capacity to climb a tree, the fish will always think it's dumb, because the strength of the fish is not in climbing trees, yet it has its own strengths. And that is exactly why you need to focus on doing what you're great at and find others to do the things that you're not so good at. And that is also why when you get to a certain level, it could be when you reach $10,000 per month, it makes a lot of sense to hire a cleaner and a chef, because what it's going to do is to free up 7 to 10 hours of your time every single week that you won't have to spend worrying about what you're gonna eat or cleaning your place. That's a lot of time that you can instead invest in your business, in your hobbies, because once you get to a certain level of success, going to the next level requires that you optimize every aspect of your life. The other thing that you need to start doing right now if you want to become rich is developing high income skills. The reason why your average Starbucks employee is paid a minimum wage is because the skills that they use at their job, they're very easily replaceable. They can be learned very quickly. You could pick anyone off the street and turn them into a great Starbucks barista within the hour. The same can't be said of a lawyer or a surgeon. Now in business, high income skills can be things like paid advertising, sales, email marketing, lead generation, etc. High income skills can be used in two different ways. You can either learn high income skills and use them yourself in your own business, or you can get hired by another company that will pay you a big salary in exchange of your services. And later on, with the work experience that you get, you can even start your own business. But I'll be completely honest with you, if you truly want to become rich, and you want to be rich young, because it's great to make $1 million when you're 80 years old, but wouldn't it be better to make it at 20, at 30? That is why the best way to get rich, it is to start your own online business. Because while you could technically speaking make a lot of money and get rich with a traditional career, it's gonna take you your entire life to get there. Decades of slave-like hours, slowly climbing the corporate ladder to maybe one day make 6 figures a year. But the truth is that you'd be lucky to get to that level. A lot of people won't have the opportunity in the first place, because with traditional careers, the opportunities that you get are directly limited to your environment. Like if you grew up in the best neighborhood in London, in New York, you have a lot of privileges compared to someone who grew up in a small town in India. You won't have the same career potential. That is the simple truth. And that is why I call the internet the great equalizer, because as long as you have a steady internet connection, a laptop, you can honestly get extremely far. And to be honest, you need to ask yourself, how do these kids on social media, the kids that live their best life, they make $150,000 a month at 25 years old, how do they do it? It's not because they saved up all of their lives. It's not because they invested in the stock market. And it's not because they slowly climbed the corporate ladder year after year for decades. The simple truth is that aside from the trust fund babies, they started an online business. I mean, I get that for CEOs, lawyers, doctors, it can be quite shocking to see people under 30 making in a month what they make in a year. But that is just how wild the opportunities that are brought by the internet are. I'll be completely honest with you, I would have never been able to live this kind of life in my early 20s if I had decided to go to university and to get a traditional career. I'm only able to do so because I was willing to bet on myself and because I started my own online business. And compared to starting a traditional brick and mortar start a business, like a gym, a hair salon, a restaurant. With an online business, you can literally get started today from the comfort of your bedroom and for less than the price of a meal. If you'd like to discover what is the best online business to start for you, I've recorded a free guide in which I analyze every popular online business model. Together, we'll take a look at the pros, at the cons, and I'm also going to share with you for completely free the 3-step process that you can use to get your first customers as quickly as possible. It's the first link in the description below. Now, if you truly want to become rich, we need to speak about one thing. You need to get rid of your bad habits because they will be the cause of your failure. When people want to become more successful, they want to make more money. The first thing they look for are business tactics. They want to know exactly on which button they need to click to start earning money today. And while business tactics do matter, let me remind you of one thing. Statistics show that 9 out of 10 startups fail. But what these same statistics don't show, however, is that it's not 9 out of 10 startups that fail. It's 9 out of 10 people. Because who runs these businesses? People, individuals. And that is why, if you truly want to become successful, and especially in business, you need to understand that your business will only ever be as successful as you. Because I can tell you this right now, if you have every single bad habit in the book, you can't commit to anything for more than a week, and you can't sit down at your desk and do boring deep work for 10 minutes in a row without grabbing your phone and going on TikTok, scrolling, or on Instagram. How do you expect to become successful? How do you expect to beat 99% of people and get to $10,000 per month? You won't. If there is one thing that I can guarantee, it's that I would have never been able to get to where I am today if I didn't let go of my bad habits and evolve into a better version of myself. It didn't happen overnight, it took years, but that is the price of success. Every time you want to reach a new level, you're gonna need to let go of some things, and more often than not, it means letting go of your old self to welcome the new self, the better version of you. Because if nothing changes within you, nothing will change externally. Now, congratulations, you started your own online business. Now you're making $10,000 per month, maybe even $20,000 per month. But what's the next step? You need to start investing in assets. As you start to accumulate some cash, let's say you have $400,000 to $1 million in the bank, the wise thing to do, of course, is to keep reinvesting in your business as much as possible to grow it in an exponential fashion. But what you also want to do is to invest in assets. That way you can protect your wealth from inflation and also benefit from it. That is exactly what wealthy people do, and if you want to stay wealthy and to get even wealthier, that is what you'll need to do as well. This could be investing in the stock market, investing in real estate, peer-to-peer lending, investing in collector watches, things that will gain value over time, as opposed to liabilities, like let's say buying a home and using it for yourself, because liabilities lose value as soon as you acquire them, while assets on the other hand keep growing in value over the years. With that said, if you would like to find out how you can make your first $1,000 online in just 90 days or even less, I've created a private program and a private community of highly dedicated entrepreneurs who are on a mission. If you'd like to learn more about it, it is the second link in the description below. With that said, as always, I am waiting for you on the other side.